G'day, I'm coming to you from an undisclosed location to bring to you my second annual QANDA. It's not going to be annual, and it's not a QANDA, this is a Q&A. There's a Google Forms link in the description if you want to submit questions for the next one, which will not be a year away. I'm thinking like maybe 2 months or whatever, I don't know. Patrons have their own form, and their questions get precedence because they're special. More special than you. Okay, so the way this is gonna work is it's not. I'm making it up as I go along and we're gonna figure it out together, okay? I've never filmed something like this before. I suck at this shit. Come on, let's go for a walk. So the entire fucking point of this is that I wanted to maintain a more open and honest connection with my audience. So to that end, I've written a bunch of questions down in my gay little frog diary. Let's see what's in there, shall we? Our very first question is from Theodrine, who asks what my favorite Aussie joke is. Assuming this means like joke made by an Australian rather than a joke about Australia or Australians, the answer is The Front Fell Off by Clark and Dorr. Fucking hilarious. Oh yeah, my hair's pink, by the way, deal with it. The David asks, updates on upcoming music. We're still currently writing the second Materia album. I'm working on an a cappella album for some reason. I'm writing my own solo album with instruments this time, not just my voice. I think I'm gonna start writing music for my videos. Not all of them, but certain ones I want to have my own accompaniment. That sounds like a grown-up YouTuber sort of thing to do. Anonymous Tomato asks, which opera/play/musical would I most want to perform in given the chance? It would be cool to be in plays, but I can't think of one that I'm like itching to be in. As for musicals, I feel like there's a very strong part of me that really wants to play Jesus in JCS. I should upload that recording of me singing Gethsemane. As for opera, I was in a production of Dido and Aeneas in high school, and it was a lot of fun, and I sort of just want to do that again. I love Dido and Aeneas. Olive asks a question that I answered in the actual QANDA last year, but I'll give it another go here. If you lived in the Pokemon world, what would your dream team of 6 be? I'm actually really into poison types. I think there hasn't been like an awesome epic poison trainer for a very, very long time. I just love Arbok and Gliscor, man. Hal asks, how was your day yesterday? Haven't thought about it. My actual day yesterday was relatively uneventful. So instead I'm gonna tell you about, we're at the river's edge by the way. Instead I'm gonna tell you what happened the day before I wrote that question down. I went to the bank, but it was closed by the time I got there, and then had tea at an Oriental tea house, and it was fucking amazing. Hal also asks, in full detail, what is Bear's favorite food currently? Bear's a big fan of cat food. That's what I give him most of the time. He fucking froths an egg yolk though. Space Windu asks who my favorite Frey is, and the pretty immediate answer to that is Big Walder Frey. Yeah, little Big Waldo. Conjob asks hair care routine, and an anonymous asks about my skincare as well, saying that I look great. I look great. The bad news is to get hair this epic, you do have to use a mollusk on your head after showering. I use Hair and Skin Kindness brand shampoo and conditioner, probably doesn't matter that much, but more importantly is the mollusk on the head after the wash. I use a slug. I've heard good things about pretty much any gastropod. I suppose you could use a cephalopod, like a cuttlefish would probably do it, but I would go with a slug. Evelyn asks, where and when in Westeros would you choose to live? Maybe I could gamble that like 5,000 years in the future they'll have figured their shit out. Limiting specifically to Westeros and not Essos, so I can't say Bravos. It would probably have to be Old Town during the reign of Aegon V, probably. I mean, it's awful, but it sounds better than the rest of Westeros. Star asks, favorite breed of dog? Bear. On a similar vein, Elsa Eve asks, cats or dogs, gargoyles or dragons? And the answer to both of those questions is bear. Drunken Bee asks, if Asswife weren't a thing, what else might you have made a YouTube channel about? There are a few different answers to that. The first YouTube video I ever wrote, I never made it, but I wrote it, was actually an explanation of special relativity, because I was unhappy with the way my physics teacher explained it. The second YouTube video I ever wrote was a review of Sonic the Hedgehog 4, which I did make but never released anywhere, and I don't think it exists anymore. I also wrote some essays on music theory and analysis of specific pieces, never made it anywhere. So those are the 3 things I think that would have, and sort of still do, push me creatively outside of media analysis, and that's Well, video games, that's media analysis. But then education and music. Orange asks, opinion on the Avatar The Last Airbender episode, The Boy in the Iceberg. I think The Boy in the Iceberg is a really good introduction to this series. I think it's a great premiere. It's probably the second strongest of, it might be the strongest season premiere actually. No, the headband's really good. A lot of people say that season 1 is the weakest of the 3 Avatar seasons. Like, it might be overall, but that's not like to say that it's bad at all. It's really, really good, and The Boy in the Iceberg is a great start. Okay, new day, different location. I've ditched the frog book because these questions are long. Anon of the Seven Kingdoms asks, do you have like a normal name that your mother gave you? You don't have to tell us what it is, but does Alt Swift X have one too? And are these the names you have saved in your phones and call each other by when you're off mic and stuff? This possibility blew my mind when it occurred. It goes on like this for some time. I do have a real name. My mother did name me. It was very kind of her. And it is actually in a video of mine. You can find it. It's there. Alt Swift X, I've been told, has a name, though I've also been told that speaking it unlocks a new dimension and demons would flood the earth and bring about the ruination of all known life. So I wouldn't pry any further. This next question is from Bunnyverse. I forgot to say that. I'm sorry. Hey Glycus, did you know that each musical chord can correspond to a different zodiac sign? There are 12 notes in 12-tone equal temperament, and there are 12 signs of the traditional zodiacs, so yeah. In parentheses here, yes, astrology smells of smelly girls topics. Shut up, girl. And an example here of the zodiac lining up with musical chords is that Light of the Seven is made up in pretty much of C minor, F minor, E flat major, and A flat major. And of course, like E flat major and C minor are relative to one another. They're like in the same chord world as one another. And the same thing goes for A flat major and F minor. So in Bunnyverse's framework here, those chords correspond to Capricorn and Sagittarius. I don't know who exactly decides where the cycle starts and where it ends. Like A flat is Aquarius. Come on. Maybe I'm just saying that though because she's me. Bunnyverse also asked another musical question, so I'm gonna cut to me at the keyboard to figure that one out. Bunnyverse asks, what are the chords in the chorus of 2 for the Price of One? Now, 2 for the Price of One is a Materia song. It's on our album Everything Ends. Go listen to it. I love that song so much. The verse is in G minor and the chorus also starts with the G minor chord. And then it goes to F major. Next is A major. And then the turnaround at the end of each line is D minor, C major. So we start in G minor and then F major. That sort of destabilizes that tonal center. And then there's an applied dominant, A major, to get us to D minor. That's a perfect cadence. It's cool that like it's the same harmonic motion repeated in the same line, but it's faster. The harmonic rhythm is doubled. It propels each line towards the end of it, and it just sends you into the next one because that D minor, C major goes directly into the next G minor of the next line. That's 5-4-1, right? Here it is when I'm not just playing like stacked triads. And so on and so forth. The last line still goes G minor, F major, A major, but it holds the A major. Eternal rest on the thicket floor, and then it goes A diminished, D7. So there's a really fast turnaround to get us back to the G minor for the next verse. Anonymous asks, why is Jamie Lannister so sexy? Anonymous? Look inward. You'll find the answer. This isn't part of the Q&A, but it's really cool that this decommissioned tram, it's a very old tram class, has been converted into like a cool place to hang out for youths such as myself. I mean, currently commissioned trams are also cool places for youths to hang out.
But this one in particular, actually the one over there is way nicer, but this one's nice too. Here looks good. Ah, g'day. Hertog Apple asks, what's the biggest project you've ever scrapped? Now, I refuse to admit that I've ever scrapped any project, but out of all the projects that I haven't yet completed, the biggest one that I put the most work into would probably be The Last Pissbender, my video about the Netflix Avatar adaptation. Bunnyverse says, boss level trivia question. Without checking, which Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series episode does Witty Phantom appear in? And there's also a hint about who exactly Witty Phantom is. I didn't need the hint. I know who Witty Phantom is. Witty Phantom appears in the Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series episode, massively multiplayer online children's card game. I think it's like 21 or something. It's between Duelist Kingdom and Battle City, obviously. I think that's around 20, 21. I'm gonna say 21. That's an easy question. It's the easiest question I've got here. The Hungman of House Trant says, hello. Hello. Alyssa asks, what is your favorite bit you've added to a video? Adding that theirs is, Aya gets fucking murdered.
Predictably, she gets fucking murdered.
Off the top of my head, I'm gonna have to go with, fuck yeah, talk about the weather.
Oh, fuck yeah, talk about the weather.
Or, I'm 9, what am I gonna do?
Jace, help! Someone stole the nuclear fucking bomb! I'm 9, what am I gonna do?
Smelly says, I sometimes can't stand working on something I deeply care about because of how overwhelming it can be. Any advice on how to get out of my head and just do the thing? No. If you can figure it out, please tell me. The ruminating, the avoiding the work, sometimes actually is the work. Sometimes the thing bubbling away in the back of your mind, it feels like procrastinating, but sometimes it's actually what needs to happen. Or at least that's the way I rationalize it. Andreas from Sweden asks, favorite King Lizard and the Gizzard Wizard album? I love Everything Ends by Materia. Ed with 3 Ds asks, plans for Hot D Season 2 Bliss/Piss takes. Yeah, as I said earlier, I still intend on doing all that shit. It'd be nice to get them out before Season 3 airs, but there's a lot of other stuff I'd like to get out between now and then as well. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world if they're not out before Season 3. Trust me, we can deal with it. Tobias asks, have you considered uploading the fake Jon Snow to YouTube with just a black background? So Tobias's intention here is that uploading the video without visuals would avoid a copyright strike from HBO. I appreciate the intent. That's not how it works. Actually, the audio is more likely to trigger a copyright strike, and that's not even the thing I'm concerned about. I've spent years learning how to avoid copyright strikes. The problem is that YouTube really doesn't want you to upload videos longer than 12 hours long. You technically can do it, but you sort of have to break the system to do it. Also, I want the fake Jon Snow in its entirety to be exclusive. I want that to be a reward for the people who want to support me and AltSwiftX. So the idea is to cut it down from 22 hours to something more YouTube appropriate, like 6 hours. Tobias also asks, are you gonna do solo content for Hot D Season 3 and The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, or just the stuff with Swift? That's a great question, and I honestly can't answer it at this point. I would like to. Well, it depends on whether I actually have enough worth saying about those shows. Also, each of those weeks is gonna be really busy for me. So take that as a tentative maybe. Dunk the Hunk asks, can I get a lift to the airport next week? Now, Dunk asked this in September. I'd love to help, but I fear that you may have missed your flight. Herbert Schultz asks, how would you rank the seasons of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon by soundtrack alone? And the answer to that is I wouldn't do that. That's not the sort of thing I would engage in. I don't condone this behavior. Preston Jacobs asks, have you read the fanfic yet? No, Preston, I'm waiting for you to finish it. That's not Preston Jacobs. Preston Jacobs isn't giving me money, is he? Codifier Behemoth asks, what other books would you recommend to Glidus/Ice and Fire fans? The Bible? I think we all need a bit of Jesus. Other George R. R. Martin works foremost, Dying of the Light, Tough Voyaging is so good. I feel as though we as a community do need to embrace what George has written in the rest of his career as well. I feel like there's a lot we can glean from it. Not just in terms of decoding Ice and Fire, but in terms of appreciating his work. Anonymous says, do you have any tips and tools for learning how to make and release music digitally? Have no expectations and just dive into it. You don't need great equipment, you just need anything. You need to be committed. In terms of learning what makes good music in a compositional sense, I mean, obviously there's a lot of intuition to it, but everything you need to know is available for free online. Download Reaper, it's a completely free digital audio workstation. Audacity is getting really good as well. There's so many free VSTs, it's incredible, and plugins. In terms of releasing digitally, we use a distributor, DistroKid, that handles all of that for us, so I actually can't help you. Rat Cellular Data asks, Lord of the Rings content? I haven't watched The Rings of Power. My intention was to watch The Rings of Power and then be like, oh, this sucks, because I heard that it sucks. I still haven't watched it, I don't know. I don't want to make a YouTube video on something that I can't speak authoritatively. I mean, not authoritatively, confidently. I'm not a Tolkien scholar. I mean, few YouTubers are. And I guess a lot of YouTubing is just like having your opinion and casting it to the wind. But I'd like to be more backed up than that. And I don't feel that way about my knowledge of Lord of the Rings. Olive asks, top 5 Simpsons episodes, oh my God, and top 5 non-Simpsons family characters. That first one is gonna be fucking impossible. You know, I can't do that, don't be ridiculous. I can give you a top 5 non-family characters, or at least I can try. Obviously Mr. Burns, that's easy. Ralph, another easy one. I am a Milhouse fan, but he might not crack the top 5, let's see. I think Dr. Hibbert is really funny, Dr. Julius Hibbert. A sleeper hit for me is Timothy Lovejoy. I think he's fucking hilarious. Flanders, I think Flanders has to be top 5. Not Barney. Mo, probably Mo. I wanna say like Nelson, I love Nelson. Todd Flanders. It could be Smithers. Mr. Burns and Smithers are such a great pair. Yeah, let's do it. Mr. Burns, Smithers, Ralph, Mo, Ned. Yep, that's it. Not in any particular order, although Mr. Burns is at the top. Lamper asks, while writing or recording materia, did a song ever unexpectedly click? Did a lyric, riff, or production choice like lift a track? So we had written all of the songs like in a composition sense before we had acquired a drummer. So pretty much all of them had that moment when we played them with drums. But I don't know if that's really what you're asking about, because like we knew we were going to have drums. That's not like something we discovered as the production went along. But definitely having a drum beat and having a drummer's influence over the songs did shape the tracks into a more cohesive experience. I think Artifacts without that beat didn't make much sense. When we were writing Harvest, we kept trying to write more of it. It was like, okay, that's the opening section, then where does the song go from there? Like we were trying to see if we could figure out a chorus or the next verse or something different about the song. But that was Jason and I working on that. And Habibi said to us, what are you doing? The song's done, that's the song. And that clicked, obviously, and that's Harvest, and it's the best song on the album. Anonymous asks, other HBO shows or just fantasy? I think you'd like Succession. I do like Succession. I fucking love Succession. Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about great media and shit media from any genre. It just so happened that I honed into Ice and Fire, but there's a lot of stuff I'd love to talk about. Cyber Jesus asks, what would your Hollow Knight and Silksong videos be about? Music? The music's a really great entry point for me, and I do want to make videos about the music in those games and covers of the music in those games. But the first Silksong video I want to make is actually going to be about more of a story thing, more of a thematic thing. Like I'm working on it at the moment, I might scrap it. No, put it on hiatus. Best Ginger asks, do you honestly believe any of George's Westeros series will ever be finished? The distinction there being Game of Thrones, Fire and Blood, and A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Out of those, I think the best shot is Fire and Blood, because I think he had already written a lot of the second part, although knowing him, it's just gonna spin out into another 5-part history series, hey. I'm gonna project my creative experience onto George and say that he's going through like a creative bulwark with The Winds of Winter, and should he ever pull through with it, if that ever does come out, maybe that will allow him to like open the floodgates and everything else that he's wanted to work on, he'll be able to work on. That said, I don't know if he'll I don't know if he'll have the time. The decision to not work on Dunk and Egg until Ice and Fire is done probably means that Dunk and Egg won't be finished by George. Daniel asks, the fake Tyrion Lannister someday, or Cersei Lannister maybe? I'd love to do more of the fake character videos. That was so much fun. The people love the fake Jon Snow. It's a roaring hit. And we get this question a lot. I think long-term, absolutely. It's not gonna be Tyrion first. It's not gonna be a huge major character like Jon Snow. It's gonna be someone smaller, I think. We'll probably get to Tyrion and Cersei and Jaime and Daenerys eventually. Alrighty. Thanks for tuning in.